I'm here in Copenhagen at the FERMA Forum, and joining me I have Edgar Puls and Mcdonald from HDI Global. First of all, welcome.
Hi, good to have you here.
The theme for today is all about transition. So bearing that in mind, what has HDI Global got in store in terms of innovative solutions, in terms of digital transition?
Well, that's a great question, as we are very much focusing on following the transition our clients are going. You know, we're not inventing something which is not needed by our clients, but we want to support the transition of our clients. There are plenty of examples. For example, in cyber, we all see a daily changing environment. So there we are pretty much focusing on not only on the insurance side, but also on supporting our clients in defending against cyber attacks and also on the post-breach side. But we have plenty of other things we're focusing on.
Thank you, Edgar. So also, you know, with these sort of digital transition risks, there's a risk around supply chain. Things have never been as connected as they are right now. So we have a really good team of BI experts that are helping our customers better understand what these risks look like. And last but not least, I would also say, with any risk around this digital transition, there comes an opportunity. And there's new data emerging from how these systems are now interconnected. And with our HDI Thinks unit, that's the team that we've got that are trying to work on how we can get that data into the domain of our customers so they can actually stop the losses from happening in the first place.
Okay, thank you. Obviously, we're in the renewal season for 2023, and it's coming up fast. I mean, what's your view in terms of how that's going to impact risk managers in terms of where sort of capacity and limits are going to be tight?
I think we've already seen this year a number of Nat Cat events globally. And I think reinsurers were also talking about, you know, changes in renewal and renewal conditions with regard to treaties. With Hurricane Ian having come through just 2 weeks ago, then I think the US cat area is going to be quite a difficult renewal, both for insurers and, you know, obviously that has a knock-on effect down the line. So it'll be interesting to see what limits and what capacity is really out there come the end of the year.
And further than that, there are a lot of discussions about shrinking capacity in D&O and in cyber. But in general, there's no plan from our side in general to shrink the capacity, as we are always focusing on the individual risk situation of each and every client, and we try to find the best solution. The discussion we have, of course, on cyber is offering more capacity on an individual account for an individual client. But they're similar to what Claire said with the Nat Cat situation. In cyber, we are also facing a cumulative risk which is not handleable when we don't limit for ourselves the individual capacity. But still, as said, we want to find best solution for our clients on an individual basis.
Okay, thank you. Obviously, one of the big issues at the moment is inflation, amongst many others. But in terms of inflation, how is that impacting HDI Global itself? And what is that knock-on effect for risk manager customers?
Well, there are mainly three areas where we see the effect of inflation. On the one hand side, we see this, of course, on our reserves. You know, we are one of a big liability insurers with a lot of long-tail risks. So actually, we have reserves from the past which seem to melt at the moment under the current circumstance of inflation. So we have to cope with that, with the past. At the same time, we are very often asked, when the inflation goes up, also the interest rates increase. What about our investment, the capital side? But there, unfortunately, you know, we have an asset liability management with a duration of 7 to 10 years. So actually, even though we may see a higher interest rate environment, it affects only 10% of our portfolio and will slowly grow into our portfolio. And at the same time, we have a lot of issues focusing with inflation on the insurance technical side. Right, Claire?
Yes, exactly. I think it goes without saying that, you know, risk managers need to be seeing what their values are. And it just doesn't go just from values. Then it's also making sure that the right limits are being purchased. And I think with today's extremely volatile world, you know, it seems like something's happening every day. Then I think they also need to take into account what's happening on the supply chains and the lead times. So my sort of words of advice, particularly from my particular area, would be check your values and make sure you've got the right indemnity period for your business.
Okay, thank you very much, and some sound advice there and some very interesting comments. Enjoy the rest of your conference.
Thank you.
Thank you.